Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your November 2016 reading. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'm going to go straight into the reading because there's a lot of information for you this month. Your channeled information, actually, I had to re-record it because as I was recording it, I got a sort of download that I got the wrong word. So, so my guides kicked me and made it a little hard, and I had to sort of like start again. So for you, the first time I got the word tentative, and it was really not about that. It's more about decision/indecision. I was getting a combination of the two words, so I put them both here. And so what really the message is for you is this is the month to sort of end the stalemate and end this period of indecision. And some of you are actually in the process of making a decision, so it's not accidental that I sort of separated the words. And so what I'm going to try to help you with is pulling apart whatever the sort of stressful parts of the decision-making process is for you and helping you get to a confident place in your heart and soul so you can make that decision and move forward. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what the cards yield. And well, that card came right up at the center, so we're going to let it be there. It's the King of Swords, which is a very decisive card. In fact, while I'm shuffling, I'll talk about it a bit. The King of Swords speaks his mind, is not cruel, but does not sugarcoat. And the other thing is, he's not afraid to call out any sort of potential dangers that could be popping up. So whenever I see wolves, they're powerful animals, and it's a great card. It's a great sort of spirit animal, but it is also something to be careful of. Notice that he's in control. He has his eye on the wolf. So this is someone who's in complete control of the situation. Don't be afraid to approach people if you think they're taking advantage of you. You need to have some proof, but basically you want to set, it's almost like if you look at a pack of dogs or wolves, there's an alpha, and this month is a month where you want to be in control. You don't want people to sort of take that alpha position. And I don't normally say things like that, but I'm seeing that control and decisiveness is really important. So let's look at everything, and I feel like we're going to get a much better idea of how to help you with your basically, I think it's confidence and decision-making process this month. So in addition to pulling a Celtic cross, I also take a look at a catalyst card, and this is really going to help us understand what the hesitation's coming from and how you can overcome it. And wow, okay, so first of all, what I got is that no more indecision. It needs to happen right now. So very interesting, because to me that's completely related, and it's affirmation from the universe that we need to go from indecision to decision. And so duly noted. I mentioned already at the center that you need to appear very strong, and I even saw this from my many years in being in corporations, that if you're too sort of nice or if you are too quiet, people have a way of speaking over you, and it's not always because their ideas are better, it's just because they're louder. So you want to make sure that you're heard, especially if you have good ideas this month. You need to be managing your own business affairs. So if you have never thought of being an entrepreneur, this may be something in the long run that suits you. Definitely this is something where if you don't catch up and take control, things could sort of be pulled away from you. So I'm encouraging you to take more ownership, whether you own a business or you're in a corporation and you're part of a team. This is a chance for you to step up and be heard and be seen. When I look at the deep past, we have the reverse of the center card, which is the Queen of Swords, and she's reversed. Now, the reversal usually has a connotation of negativity. So let me break this down for you. What you want to be is all of the positive things that we see here: decisive, strong, clear, and uncompromising in the important things, and very much aware of the dangers and the cautions and everything. Like, you know what you want, you know what the risks are, and you move forward. The reversal of this card, which is your past cycle that you can break this month, that's your opportunity, is to sometimes jump to a conclusion and speak in a way that isn't being heard the right way from someone else. So sometimes it's too critical, sometimes it's too sensitive, and so what you can do instead is just understand, feel like I'm in control of this, I understand, I can take in any sort of constructive criticism and either decide to take it or leave it, but you don't have to feel like you need to defend yourself or go into sort of attack mode. You're in control. I get this sense that it's there if you want it this month, and whatever happened in the past is the past, if that makes sense. Emotions, are running a little bit uneven for you this month. So one thing I'm going to say for relationships, some of you may have just gotten out of a really tricky one, or might have a lot of people around you that are requiring extra time and energy. A lot of times this is from a loved one, a parent, somebody in your life who needs a lot from you, and sometimes that can be taxing because you just think, when am I going to have time? When is it going to be my turn? So if that's the case, I just encourage you to stay strong and probably not get into a new relationship this month. If you're already in one, it's going to be a little bit more giving than taking, so you'll have to provide a little bit more. So just know that, ride the wave, and try not to, again, speak too critically to a loved one, because that could go sour for you this month. What I'm seeing right now, and this is why the Now card came up, is the Hanged Man, and this is your crowning card. And so what your big challenge this month is to break through the stalemate, break through the block. And the block for you is worrying, basically. And what's interesting about this deck here is that we see the wolf in different parts here. What I like about the center card is the King of Swords knows exactly what his fears are, and they're not behind him, they're in front of him. With the Nine of Swords, the fear is behind the person. And a lot of times it's so much easier to just pretend like it's going to go away, or just think, I don't want to deal with it. I can't deal with this person. I'm so over you. I'm so over this. But that's not the way to neutralize things. The way to neutralize it is to say, listen, I sense some tension. Let's talk about it. Let's clear it up. We are so busy right now. We don't have time for this. So I want to help. I want to listen to you, but then we gotta get past this. And that's how an effective leader can make sure that someone understands that they care, but that this can't continue. So if you're a leader and that's going on, you have to approach someone in your group or your business and do it with compassion, but also with clarity, and let them know that you're there for them, but there's a time and a place for certain things, and maybe right now isn't the best time. Okay? What I'm seeing again for creativity this month is you can maybe channel some of the frustration, particularly if you're an artist or something like that, into your art. Otherwise, what you're going to have to try to do is find an outlet outside of work or outside of your relationship to push some of these sort of emotional feelings into. So that could be meditation, that can be yoga, that can be exercise. You have to sort of work through it. And I'm definitely sensing some emotional ups and downs. So that's why I think, and I'm sensing this for most signs this month, it's not really a time to meet new people. November is going to be a self-work month. And it seems like at least over half of the signs that I've been looking at this month have had a similar message. Yours is a little bit more punctuated. What will really help you this month is dealing with any level of control issues that sort of exist. So this could be a mother or father or a VP that you work for, whoever it is. You need to sort of clear out the water, make sure that everything's okay, and that you feel good. You feel like everything is all right with that relationship. And also just to recognize sometimes when it comes to sort of like a hierarchical, either society or a business, you can only change so much. And making peace with that and realizing, what do I really want to focus on? And if you get to a point where you feel like, I can't do this anymore, it's okay, you can walk away. So, many of you may be ready for that major shift in your life. It doesn't look like it comes right at the beginning of the month. It looks like it happens more towards the end. And for some of you, you may be willing to wait even until the middle of next month. But I see some of you saying, this isn't working for me anymore. Like, I need to move on. So relationship, business, or roommate situation, but it's something where you're going to need some time and possibly a permanent separation. Overall, your opportunity this month is to make sure that you're not dismissed. A page card is all about an announcement and also about being heard. When the card is reversed, the warning here is, I'm not going to be ignored. And so you find a way to work within the system. And if the system is broken, you find a better system to work within. And that could mean like leaving or moving on. So I want you to, it's all about communication for you this month, really. Clear communication without it being critical, that's going to lead to the best success for you. If people are coming through for like new relationships, there's two that I sense. If you're single and you're looking for someone, they're both air signs, so a very strong, slightly more aggressive air sign that I like because they're more in control. And just to remind you, that would be a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. It looks more like an Aquarius man. And then I see possibly a slightly less positive, I'll just put it this way. It's a negative air sign. Someone who could be too critical, could be a little overbearing, and that would be the person I would steer clear of. So if they're not falling under the air sign, then it's usually very dark hair, very dark eyes, lighter skin, but all of that is not as important as some of the attributes. So again, usually critical. That's what I'm seeing for the second of the two, and the one that's already existing in your life seems like they're a little bit better. Maybe you hadn't considered them in a romantic sort of relationship before, but there's an opportunity this month. It does look like they would be the ones that would take the initiative. So again, for you, my advice would be to focus on your work situation and how to feel a lot better about your communication and your power situations over the next month. Your health not really coming through that much, and relationships not coming through that much in the general read. Let me pull the camera down and we'll go ahead and look at health right now, just to see if there is a specific message, even though it didn't come through in the Celtic Cross. It's this card. And the message for you is to get out there and to do some writing. And with this writing message, what I would say is getting your feelings on paper, getting your thoughts on paper can be a very effective way to clarify what you want to say, how you want to say, and get the stress out of your body. So this Nine of Swords that's coming through could have a lot to do with unspoken fears or doubts or stress, and just putting it in a journal entry, or perhaps if you're a fiction writer, creating some sort of a narrative around a way that you're feeling could be really good at relieving that stress in your life. When we look at wealth, which includes your career, it also includes opportunities that are coming into your life. The message for wealth this month is be the hunter, not the hunted. So if you want to find something new, it's up to you to find it. And this is pretty clear with if you're waiting for an opportunity to come, you'll keep waiting. So so go after it. So if you want to start a new business, you need to get busy with your business plan, talk to some partners. If you want to find a new job, start working on your resume, start looking around, start interviewing, but you are the one that is going to find it, not vice versa. Now let's take a look at love. Well, there you go. For you, if you want it, it is there. There is passion. And here's what I would say. I actually think that for you, you can utilize this passion in one of two ways. Like I said, you can channel it into your work, or you can actually go after what you want. And it says, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love, life, and career. So it's up to you. Passion is always there. That creative energy that's in our lower chakras, we can always use it for all three of these things that we mentioned here. I will say though, I think this month career would be a better use of the passion, but it all depends on your life situation. So finally, let's take a look at your future card, your destiny card. And I love this one. It's a manifestation card. It says spellcasting, but what it means is basically whatever you put your energy into is what is going to happen. So if you're not happy with a particular part of your life, if you want to improve your physical appearance, if you want to improve your career trajectory, if you want a nicer home, it's saying spend some time working on these areas of your life, give them time to change, and just know the sheer act of deciding is going to bring about that change. Thoughts are very powerful, and then the action that follows will have much more meaning if you truly feel it in your heart. Okay? The magic comes from within. This person isn't holding a magic wand. The energy is actually coming directly from their hands. So it's about harnessing your own internal power. Let's go ahead and review, as I do every month, just because there's a lot of information. The main thing I wanted to help you with was your decision-making process, how to move from indecision to decision, or from indecisiveness to decisiveness. The first thing is that there's no more time to waste on some of this. You spent enough time wondering, and this is saying just go for it. As we expand it out, One way that you can get to a point of view that you know what you want is to write it down. Sometimes this can mean if you're going to give notice, you have to write it out on paper a few times so that you know what to say. If you need to have a difficult conversation with a loved one, if you write down everything, you can edit it a few times and get the negative stuff out so that you can really speak from a more constructive point of view. For wealth, basically, if you want something, you need to go after it. So jobs will not just land in your lap this month. You're going to have to actively pursue them, and you're also going to have to think about the way you market yourself. Passion exists. The question is how you want to manifest with it. I suggest work, but you can absolutely decide to go more into relationships if you'd like. Know that you already have the power that you need to create what you want in your life. It comes from you, not a magic talisman, not a spell. It's all from the magic within your heart. If you stay too long in this sort of indecisive place, then what could happen is things will not necessarily move forward as much as they could. If you're feeling very decisive and you keep thinking to yourself, why does he keep mentioning this? What this can also say is that you could speed up things a little bit. So, because the first word that I got was tentative, and even though I chose not to go with it, what it means is a pause. So I would say you want to basically work at a little bit more of a rapid clip. So don't go through the thoughtfulness so much. Move more on intuition this month in particular. One more time, just looking at the general cards. Your ideal card to sort of look at this month is the King of Swords. Clear, strong, knows where they want to go, and is not afraid to look at the scary things in life and basically gain some understanding over that. You want to be in control of everything. You don't want to hand off anything that has to do with finances this month in particular, or major business decisions. You can hand off lesser work, but you have to be the main person in control. Emotions are running high this month, but it's going to be trying to kind of pull you off course a little bit. So focus more on getting control, understanding what you need, looking at the fine details, and only delegating work that sort of brings you out of that ability to have like a high level view of what's going on. Some of you are going to reach a point in your life where you're no longer able to continue with a job, a relationship, or a living situation. And I see that really coming to a close in about 6 weeks time total, but it could happen towards the end of this month. Ultimately, your main message this month is to be heard, to not let people push you to the side. So this is a really big month where you can be strong, you can have what you want, but you have to first clearly think what it is and know what it is, communicate it clearly, and then just go after it. If you do that, I feel like the sky is the limit. But what you have to move past is thinking like, why did I do this? Or I could have done this. It's okay. Wherever you're at for a reason. It's like the cards. They're arranged in a specific order, and it's a divine order. So your life is the same way. It's basically laid out, but on a scale of time, and you can't really change the past. You can only observe it, learn from it, and move forward. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If you ever need like more of a one-on-one session with me, I do offer those, and I'll put a link in the corner or an embedded link if you're looking on a mobile device. If you'd just like to stay in touch, the easiest way, of course, is to subscribe to the channel or to my newsletter. I'm also on most social media networks like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Finally, I just want to say thank you, because all of your positive feedback, your encouragement, and the likes and the subscribes really help me know that this makes a difference and it helps you. So keep that up. I really do appreciate it. If you'd ever like to just give back a little bit as well, I'll put a donate button at the end, but that's always optional. So I will see you in 1 month's time, but in the meantime, have a fantastic November. Remember, you are just like this card. You have the ability to affect change. You have more power than you know, and all you need to do is act on that power, make up your mind, and then you're unstoppable. Okay? Best of luck. Sat Nam, and I'll see you soon.